Hey guys, so I've been getting back into competitive Pokemon recently, and it's just been so much fun looking at the different teams people come up with. Obviously, a lot of people have been running fairly meta teams in Regulation F and whatnot. It's all you can see are like Fluttermanes or Rillabooms or Landorus and Tornadus and whatnots. But I came across this team that was actually using a Regigigas, and when I saw this, I was stunned. The fact that Regigigas is now competitively viable is just insane to me. So I wanted to show this team to you guys, and I'll obviously get into some games after I show you the team comp and what we're running. I hope you enjoy the games, and I hope you enjoy this team. If you do, please consider subscribing and leaving a like maybe. I plan on making a lot more videos on competitive Pokemon in the future. So yeah, anyways, enough yapping, let's get into it. Regigigas. So this is kinda the crux of our team, is Regigigas and Galarian Weezing. You see, Galarian Weezing has an ability called Neutralizing Gas that neutralizes every single ability on the field. Every single ability. The only way to actually negate this neutralizing gas effect is by having the item called Ability Shield, which makes it so that your ability can't be changed. Now, the way this team works is you lead Weezing and Regigigas. Regigigas famously has an ability called Slow Start. Slow Start is awful, considering Game Freak has Pokemon like Shifu and Zacian, Intrepid Sword, and Mega Rayquaza and Eternatus. There was no reason to do Regigigas so dirty. But anyway, Slow Start makes it so that for the first 5 turns, Regigigas' attack and speed are halved, which means that his attack is 80 and his speed is 50, which is awful, by the way. 80 attack, yeah, that sounds good enough, but it's just really not when you consider the Pokemon that you're going to be fighting in most ranked or tournament setups. But with Neutralizing Gas, you can completely get rid of Slow Start and have Regigigas do max damage from the start. Which is why we're running Choice Scarf. We don't want Regigigas to get hit by anything, we don't want it to get hurt by anything. We want it to outspeed almost everything and just start dealing damage, which is why we're running max speed, max attack, Adamant. Terra Normal Crush Grip to start with does insane amounts of damage. I think in my sort of 5 or 7 games that I've played so far, Crush Grip has taken out everything. There's not a single Pokemon has lived a full HP Terra Normal Crush Grip. It just hasn't. But yeah, apart from Crush Grip, we're also running High Horsepower, Heavy Slam, and Knockoff. Obviously, we're Choice, so that kind of limits what you can do, and you have to really pick which move to go for. Considering how many Ghost type Pokemon there are, Crush Grip might not always be the best option. There's also some Gouging Fires running around, and they could go for Burning Bulwark, which protects but also burns Regigigas. You don't want Regigigas to get burned. I think that happens in one of the games I'll probably show. That does happen to us in one of the games I can show, and you can kind of see that and figure out how to deal with it. But anyway, we're running High Horsepower. There's a chance to miss, so obviously there's a lot that can happen. If a move is 95 accurate, if a move is not 100 accurate, it's like 50% accuracy. I can't remember who said that, but someone said it. It's true. It's just how this game is. Anyway, on our Weezing, we're also running Strain, Steam, Gunk Shot, Taunt, and Protect. What I usually like to go for is a Protect on the Weezing so that nothing can hurt it, because the way this team is, if Weezing dies, your Regigigas' output becomes so much lesser. So you need to focus on keeping Weezing alive while Regigigas can just deal max damage for as long as it can. And to support our team on the back, we kind of have a snow team. Recently, a snow team won a tournament in, I can't remember which tournament, but a snow team won a tournament and they've started becoming really popular. So we kind of have a version of that. We're not running a full snow team, but we do have an Alolan Ninetales, which has Helping Hand, Misty Terrain, Moonblast, and Aurora Veil. Misty Terrain makes it so that none of our Pokemon can get status. Helping Hand makes it so that any Pokemon next to Ninetales can just deal insane amounts of damage. To take advantage of Ninetales' Snow Warning, we do have Iron Bundle and Baxcalibur. I love Baxcalibur. I think Baxcalibur is one of the best sort of one of the best pseudo legendaries they've released. And it's such a cool Pokemon. It can deal so much damage. Dragon Ice is really cool typing. Now this team, when I originally saw it in the tournament, I think it was in the same tournament that the Snow team won in. They were running Earthquake instead of Terra Blast, but Earthquake wasn't really working for me. Earthquake ended up dealing more damage to my teammates than it did the other team. It ended up kind of hurting more than helping, which is why I changed it to Terra Blast, Terra Ground Terra Blast, because I realized I don't, in the games when I Terra with Regigigas, I end up winning, and if Regigigas ends up dying, I can then Terra Ground back Excalibur and just get rid of anything on the other side of the field. And the EV spread that we're running max HP, and we are running 140 special defense so that we can survive. If a Fluttermane decides to Moonblast you, back Excalibur ain't surviving. But if you Terra Ground and you have 140, you can survive a Moonblast from a Fluttermane and then deal damage, do summon, anything. It just adds more survivability to the back Excalibur, which is why we're running the EV spread like this. We also then have an Incineroar, which is fairly standard. You want to bring this with your Regigigas in case you never know what's going to happen in a Pokemon battle. You never know what your opponent's actually going to be running, which is why we have Ability Shield, because if you decide to bring it next to the Weezing, you don't want your own Intimidate to not work. And if your opponent brings in Incineroar and you have the Weezing, you're not going to get intimidated, but they are. So it ends up working really well. This is a fairly standard Incineroar, fairly standard EV spread, and this is the team. I'll go over the Iron Bundle as well. We are spexed Terra Ice so that we can just do max damage. There's a lot of Ogerpon running around, and Iron Bundle is an Ogerpon killer. It eats Ogerpon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. You don't want to mess with an Iron Bundle if you're an Ogerpon. But yeah, Regigigas team, super cool. I just want to get into games and show you guys how these go. So yeah, again, I really hope you enjoy these games. If you do, consider subscribing, consider liking, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so let's see. A Tornadus, Shifu, Qianpao, Dragonite, Iron Hands, and Fluttermane. This is a pretty standard meta team right now. Obviously Tornadus and Fluttermane I feel like could be coming out, just because we Incineroar on my side is a pretty fairly good lead. I think they might bring the Qianpao, Iron Hands, Shifu are probably coming out on my opponent's part, because they look at the snow they look at the snow team and they think, yeah, like that's a good enough lead. I think I feel confident leading Regigigas Weezing, because they have no real way to actually get rid of Weezing. Not that I can see anyway. I mean, Shifu does a lot. They have a lot of Pokemon that deal a lot of heavy damage on their team, but it's not something I would generally be worried about. I feel confident bringing in Incineroar as well, just for the Intimidate plays, and also it gets... Actually, maybe not. Maybe Incineroar isn't the right play, because we can bring Ninetales, and we can bring back Excalibur. Yeah, I feel good with this. The reason I bring Ninetales and back Excalibur is because Ninetales can obviously bring in Snow, boost back Excalibur special defense, and back Excalibur can hit almost everything on their team. And Ninetales has Moonblast for that Qianpao. So in case we can't take out the Qianpao with any of our other Pokemon, the Ninetales still has a way of actually dealing with it. So yeah, Tornadus, Shifu, I think that's a pretty standard lead. We expected that. We have Weezing here, everyone's ability is done, so Protects actually can do something. I think I'm just going to Terra Normal Crush Grip into the Shifu. Yeah, Terra Normal Crush Grip into the Shifu, because the Tornadus is not as big of a threat as the Shifu actually is. And we can just Protect. We just Protect Weezing turn 1. Because we don't know what that thing is going to do. I mean, we don't want a Weezing to just die. Because if Weezing dies, the Regigigas is rendered useless. So we need the Weezing to stay alive. Is kind of what I'm getting at. So let's see how much damage this does. The Shifu's probably sashed, but... yeah. Okay, they go for Terra Water. That's interesting. I don't know what they expected me to do. Obviously, not a lot of people expect to see a Regigigas standing against them, but yeah. He might have attacked Weezing, in which case that's great for us. Even if not, that's okay. We can do a lot of damage right here to the Shifu. Oh, it's not sassed and we just take it out. That's awesome. The Shifu might have been scoffed, but it doesn't matter. Since it was not sassed, it's just dead now. That's kind of Regigigas' power. Regigigas is OP as hell. The Tailwind is kind of expected. I knew that was going to come out. There's... wait, but the Tailwind didn't go first. Doesn't Tornadus have Prankster? Does his Tornadus not have Prankster? Wait, what's happening? Oh no, because of the Weezing, the Prankster... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. So, basically, I'm a stupid idiot who, for some reason... no, I'm a stupid idiot who, for some reason, thought that the Prankster would still be in effect, which is why I didn't attack the Tornadus. But either way, Shifu was the bigger threat. I think we can just Gunk Shot into the thingy. We can switch out next turn. That doesn't do enough damage. The Tailwind is going to make them... yeah, he thought I was going to do some other shenanigans, but I'm not. I think the Crush Grip just takes the Tornadus out as well. Obviously, we did lose some HP, but this is Terra Normal. And Regigigas has 160 attack. So, yeah, that's an easy KO on the Tornadus as well. The Gunk Shot can do decent damage. I think 30-40%. Probably, I'm expecting. Please? Oh no, that does way more damage than I was expecting. So I guess the Fluttermane is not bulky. A lot of people are running bulkier Fluttermanes, but I guess not this guy, which is fine. I kind of want to switch out over here because we're gonna get faked out. We're gonna get any number of things that are gonna happen to us now. The safest play for us is just switching out. He's gonna Dazzling Gleam again. But I know that Baxcalibur can eat it, and if both of these mons die, I know Weezing and Regigigas can come out and then start doing damage. I don't want to rely on Crush Grip when I know that if these Pokemon, like I have a gut feeling that this is the right play to make. I know a double switch is almost never the ideal play, but in this case I want to keep my Weezing and Regigigas alive because they're both really a unit. You know, they're Dindozo Tatsugiri essentially, because I can't play Regigigas without Weezing, and Weezing just doesn't do that much damage by itself, so they're really a package deal and they have to stay together. Yeah, we expected the fake out. We know the Dazzling Gleam is also coming. That's okay. I was actually expecting the fake out on my Regigigas because why not, right? You know, that it makes most sense. But yeah, anyway, let's just Ice Shard the Fluttermane. I'm hoping this kills. Yeah, it kills, and now the Moonblast can do decent amount of damage to the Iron Hands. I think this is a 4-1. I think we have this game. It was a Regigigas sweep. Regigigas is so strong. You know, the Scarf, the 160 attack. I mean, it's really hard to stand up to it. Obviously, our opponent had Tailwind, which kind of was a hindrance for us because we had to switch out Regigigas at the end there. But the fact that it still put in so much work despite the Tailwind being active, I mean, there's a reason Regigigas has slow start. Obviously, Game Freak stopped caring about yeah, opponent forfeits, which is completely fair enough, but there's a reason Game Freak stopped. I don't know why Game Freak stopped caring about Pokemon, but Regigigas is OP. Regigigas is OP. Alright, let's get into it. So our opponent has a Galarian Moltres, Sableye, Comfey, Caledon, Glastria, and an Ogerpon. So I have seen sort of variations of this team around, but I don't think I've ever seen a Sableye on these teams. I've seen Comfey on a very few teams. I've seen Galarian Moltres on very few teams. I think their usage stats are like near 1% right now. Our Caledon is obviously considered like a really good Pokemon right now. But I'm not really sure what to expect from this team. That's what happens on the rank ladder, man. People obviously majority use meta teams, but you do run into some of these teams sometimes that you just have no idea what to do against. So I feel confident leading Regigigas into this team as well, because I don't see that they have a way of dealing with me. Obviously, Crush Grip does damage to everything except Sableye, so we can't freely go out into crush grip, like freely start doing crush grips. But apart from that, I feel pretty confident in also bringing Incineroar and Bundle in the back. Yeah. Obviously, Excalibur can do a lot of damage, but I feel like Incineroar and Bundle can deliver a lot more value against his team here, against our opponent's team, I mean. But let's see who they lead out with. I'm really not sure who they lead out. I feel like they're gonna lead Sableye. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect here. I really don't, because this is gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see what our opponent has here. A Caledon Comfey. Okay, that's I'm not again. I'm not really sure what they can do, but neutralizing gas is amazing because we can obviously eliminate all of their abilities. Heavy Slam would take out the Comfey, but I think we just go for high horsepower on the Caledon, and I'm free to go for the Protect here. Free to go for a Protect and go for a high horsepower with Regigigas. Okay, but he also protects with Comfey, which is fine. High horsepower is really good because it does double damage if your move fails the last turn. So even if you'd gone for Comfey and we'd miss, yeah, I was gonna say I did not expect that to do so much damage. The fact that we got a crit there is insane. I mean, yeah, that's, I feel like I've kind of ruined my opponent's strat there. But that's the game, man. That's the name of the game, unfortunately. Let's taunt the Comfey because I don't know what it's gonna do, and I think just going for a taunt is the safest play here. Regigigas outspeeds almost everything on this field. I think Regigigas is the fastest thing on this field, so we can just get rid of the Caledon, which I feel really bad for my opponent that we got a crit. But yeah, if they'd maybe gone for a damaging move, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what their play is. Obviously, they went for a focus energy, so they were looking at doing some critical hit, shenanigans, tactics. But yeah, with these teams, I really sometimes have no idea what they're going for. Is this Terra Flying or Caledon? Wait, is it actually Terra Flying? Oh no, it's Terra Grass. I mean, it doesn't matter because the Caledon is such low HP. I think it dies. If he terrored the turn, if he first turn terrored, he could do something. But on 1 HP, yeah, there's no way you're living with the Terra Grass. I think that's a wasted terror on my opponent's part. Because with such low HP, there's no way you're actually living anything. Like, the Weezing could take you out. Yeah, okay, Floral Healing, that makes sense. It would have been a good play if they outspeeded. But Regigigas is choice scarfed for my opponent, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, I feel like this is gonna be another Regigigas sweep, but let's see. I think the win condition with this team almost every time is to just keep Regigigas alive, because if the longer Regigigas stays alive, so the keeping Weezing alive, because the longer Weezing stays alive, the more you can actually do with this team, right? Because once Weezing dies, neutralizing gas is not in effect anymore, and Regigigas gets slow start again. Once slow start is active, Regigigas is useless. It's actually just a useless mon on the side of the field. Your opponent can an opponent forfeits, which is completely understandable. No one would want to go against a Regigigas like this, but yeah. So if you're facing this team, if you ever come across this team on rank ladder, tournaments, showdown, just target down the Weezing. No matter what, just target down the Weezing, because once you target down the Weezing, you don't have to worry about that side of the field of the opponent. You can just use both of your Pokemon to single target, bully one side, and just have the Regigigas there, because it takes 5 turns is a really long time. Okay, so our opponent is running a Shifu, Ogerpon, Blood Moon, Luna, Tornadus, Fluttermane, and Chi-Yu. This is again a fairly standard team. I would probably expect a Trick Room mode with Blood Moon or Luna there, but the Pokemon is so strong that you don't really need Trick Room. As long as Blood Moon can stay alive for 1 turn, it can like almost guarantee take a Pokemon out. Considering their team, I feel like we're gonna see another Tornadus and Shifu lead, in which case I feel pretty confident leading Regigigas and Weezing again, because that worked out really well for us last time. Obviously this Shifu might definitely be sassed unless they've sassed their Chi-Yu, but it might also have safety goggles. I don't know, but we won't make the same mistakes we did last time. Not that we made too many big mistakes, but yeah, we won't make the same mistakes we did last time. I think we lead Bundle and we bring the Baxcalibur, right? Yeah, bundle Baxcalibur goes really well against their team. Obviously, bringing Ninetales is fairly beneficial as well, but I feel like Baxcalibur and bundle can just deal such high damage output that if they're just that cleanup as if Regigigas and Weezing can't get it off, if Weezing dies, if Regigigas dies, we can have Baxcalibur and Iron Bundle come in and clean up the kills. So that's kind of what I was going for over here. Obviously, bringing Ninetales with any one of them would have been fairly viable as well. But yeah, that's a really cool profile picture. I like that. I like that profile picture. That's very cool. Very cool. Ooh, they look dappered up. That's a nice outfit. That is a nice outfit. Obviously, our opponent was expecting us to go out into some kind of snow mode, but we can just neutralizing gas, get rid of all their abilities. No Beads of Ruin. I think Chiyu has Beads of Ruin anyway. We probably outspeed everything on their team, right? We probably outspeed everything on their team, but I kind of want to go for high horsepower on the Chiyu. Chiyu might protect. Chiyu can also be Terra Ghost. There's a high chance that Chiyu could also be Terra Ghost. I think we just high horsepower into the Chiyu and then protect with our Weezing. That's a fairly good play. Ursaluna can do a lot of damage, but I think he might target down the Weezing with the Ursaluna. That's kind of the prediction I'm making, which is why I felt fairly confident going for Chiyu instead, because I feel like he's going to target down my Weezing with his Luna. And he did. Yeah, he did go for my Weezing. So that's kind of exactly how I predicted this turn to roll out. Unless the Chiyu had a Sash, it would have been a completely different game. But I just figured because he needs to get rid of my Weezing's neutralizing gas, he's going to stay in and do that. We can now kind of fairly... Earth Power doesn't take our Weezing out. The Ursaluna in my mind is not that big of a threat, but Shifu is. So we just work to get rid of Shifu here, I think. We just work to get rid of Shifu here. Let me see. Is there any way that he can actually deal damage to... If I Terra Water... no, Terra Water doesn't really bring us any additional benefits. I think we just go for Strain Steam and Earth Power, because the Shifu could be sassed. And if it is sassed, we just want to get rid of it. We want to kill it before it can wreak havoc on our team. So yeah, Terra Dark might probably hurt him more than help him, to be honest, because our high horsepower is going to be... oh, never mind, we crit with the high horsepower, so that's great. Close combat does a lot of damage and takes us out. Honestly, that's okay. I'm fairly fine with that. Actually, I'm not very I'm not entirely fine with that, but I think Weezing should take the Shifu out now. With the special defense drop, super effective, Weezing should take the Shifu out. So it's not the best trade, but getting rid of Fennel Shifu is huge. Is huge for us. So I'll take it. The Earth Power doesn't take us out. Oh no, it does take us out. Luna is so strong. I thought our Weezing could definitely withstand one Earth Power. But hey man, it's alright. I think this is a 2v2 now. And we might... I don't know who comes out on top. I don't know who comes out on top of this 2v2. Let's see. Is it a 2v2? Yeah, it's a 2v2. They have a Flutter Mane. We haven't terrored a Pokemon yet, so we can go for Terra Ground on our Baxcalibur to protect from Moonblast and any such thing. Earth Power, Moonblast, all of that we can just protect with our Terra Ground, which is a good Terra choice for Baxcalibur, if I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. Let's Terra Ground, Icicle Crash. Let's try to get rid of the Luna as soon as possible, right? And yeah, let's Hydro Pump the Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane might... I don't know what I was thinking. So okay, so I do know what I was thinking. Basically, Bundle is Spexed, right? I don't want to get Spexed into Freeze Dry, which long term, even if we do get rid of the Luna, doesn't do as much damage as Hydro Pump. Obviously there's a chance to miss Hydro Pump, but we want to kill the Flutter Mane, right? That's our objective. So even if it's like 1 HP, we can Ice Shard next turn and get rid of the Flutter Mane. But the Luna is alive, and the Luna flinched. Oh my god, that flinch is so huge. That flinch is so huge for us. We can just Ice Shard this Flutter Mane right here and Hydro Pump into this. Okay, the Luna protects, which is fine. In fact, that's actually better for us, because if Hydro Pump missed and the Luna somehow killed our Baxcalibur, there's a chance we could have missed Hydro Pump again, and we couldn't Ice Shard. But now we can just Ice Shard and win the game. Obviously, we got really lucky at the end there, but that's RNG, man. You know, that's this game. It's the game we play. It makes you sad, it makes you laugh, it works out in your favor sometimes, it doesn't, and that's just the way the wind blows sometimes. So yeah, crazy. GG's to my opponent, they played really well, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do against Regigigas and Terraground Baxcalibur, man. Okay, so our opponent has a Goldango, Ogerpon Water, a Bishop. King Gambit has, I forgot his name for a second, a King Gambit, a Paradox, Entei, I think Gouging Fire. I don't know why I'm blanking on these names. Rillaboom and Qian Pao. So this is a fairly standard team. I think this team did really well a couple of weeks back in a tournament, and I think I used this exact same team in my Road to Rank stream. Subscribe and watch, by the way. Hello, what are you doing? But anyway, I feel like they might, looking at my team, they might lead Gouging Fire, Qian Pao, or Gouging Fire Ogerpon, in which case, again, I feel like Regigigas and Weezing is such a good lead. There's such a solid lead and there's not much you can do to them. Incineroar in the back is great because it can do so much to like half their team, or more than half their team. Qian Pao, Rillaboom, King Gambit, Goldango, all are kind of afraid of the Incineroar over here, so I'm happy bringing that here. Now it's either a Baxcalibur or our Iron Bundle. Baxcalibur obviously deals a lot of damage, but Iron Bundle is faster and is just stronger than a lot of his team. So I think bringing Iron Bundle here might be the better choice. Let's see how this goes though. We might not even need to use the Pokemon in the back if our Regigigas and Weezing can actually put in the work. But again, you know, if my opponent might be used to these teams, or he might have seen these teams, and they might know that you need to target down the Weezing. If that does happen, you know, let's see how it goes. Okay, so they did bring out the Gouging Fire and the King Gambit instead, which is okay. I think I can freely just start going for high horsepowers. He might Terra the King Gambit. I'm just gonna protect. In case he Terras the King Gambit, I'm just gonna protect and go for high horsepower on the Gouging Fire. Yeah, he does go for a Terra. Is it the King Gambit? Yeah, he does Terra the King Gambit, so I didn't want to take that risk. Terra Fairy, that's okay. Yeah, King Gambit is like a really popular Terramon. You could run Terra Fire, Terra Flying, Terra Dark, Terra Fairy. This is really sad that the Gouging Fire has gone for the Protect, but yeah, and Regigigas is gonna get burnt now, which is incredibly sad, but high horsepower on the next turn is gonna do a lot of damage. The burn is unfortunate. The burn is really bad for us. It seems, oh my god, that low kick did a lot. That low kick did a lot of damage. Okay, so I guess there's more than one way to get rid of this team, huh? Let's just go for the Gangster on the King Gambit and go for this play, because the Regigigas is so crippled now. High horsepower is going to do double damage this turn, which is great for us, but we're also burnt, so it kind of like equalizes, and they have Sucker Punch, so yeah, I should have expected that. That was just a really good first turn on my opponent's part. Obviously this team, there's stuff that it can do and there's stuff that it can't do. In situations like that, there's really not much we can do, because The King Gambit has low kick. The Gouging Fire can just protect. Yeah, that was all around just a really sad situation for us. I think not much you can do there, and that's okay. The Intimidate does. I mean, I could have switched out my Regigigas, kept the Wheezing out. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things we could have done. There's a lot of things we could have done differently. But anyway, let's stop worrying about the Regigigas and see if there's any way we can actually salvage this game. Regigigas is not always the win con. Obviously, we depend on it a lot because it's such a strong Pokemon. But if your Regigigas does die, that's you just have to reassess. That's what battling is all about. That's what Pokemon is all about. Sometimes you just have to reassess. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so we do end up successfully faking out the King Gambit, which is great, and he goes for Howl with the Gouging. Gouging Fire is such a great support Pokemon. It's actually such a great support Pokemon, but I think the Gunk Shot just kills the King Gambit now. So yeah, the King Gambit is gone, but the Gouging Fire is stronger. Actually, no, it's not, because of the Intimidate. It's just back to normal. It's just back to normal attack. So yeah, let's see if there's anything you can actually do here. I'm curious to see what their other Pokemon are. I think this battle still might be salvageable, but hey, let's see. Maybe we don't actually need Regigigas to win. What? No, it's I just saw this team and it was really cool to see kind of Regigigas actually competitively viable, because everyone always says, if Regigigas had a different ability or whatever reason, should we Terra Poison? I don't want to get IV cudgeled, and Iron Bundle doesn't really benefit. Terra Poison. Yeah, I think Terra Poison is a good shout on our boy here. We can just go for the Terra Poison, Flare Blitz, Gunk Shot into the Ogerpon. Yeah, I think we just get to the Ogerpon as soon as we can, because this way, that's one less. Actually, maybe Ogerpon wasn't the bigger threat. Yeah, Ogerpon definitely wasn't that big a threat, because we do have an Iron Bundle in the back, but our bundle is Spexed, so we don't want it to get Spexed into Freeze Dry or something like that. Okay. That's okay. That's I wasn't expecting that critical hit. Whatever just happened, I didn't expect a single thing from that to actually take place, but the fact that it did, amazing. I'll take it. I'm not complaining. I'm not a complainer. I'll take it. The Gouging Fire is +1 now, so we need to be careful, but our Incineroar outspeeds a lot of his team. I think we're free to just go for fake outs, and I don't want to taunt. I mean, if the Gouging Fire goes for another Howl, that's okay. I think we can just Train Steam. The Gouging Fire. It goes for Breaking Swipe and it misses. Oh no, it doesn't affect the Weezing. So that is gonna hurt because our attack drops, but let's see. Oh, the Goldengo outspeeds. Never mind. I really thought my Incineroar outsped the Goldengo. That's very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I don't know why, I just thought my Incineroar outsped the Goldengo. But hey, it is what it is, man. This is Pokemon. It's how it goes. It is just what it is. Like, there was a slim chance we won with Goldengo dying. With Regigigas dying. But there's things we can do here. There's definitely things we can do here. The Gouging Fire's attack goes up. It's super strong now. We need to land this Hydro Pump. But even then, I don't think there's a way we can actually survive this. We're obviously Spexed. And even if we do land the Hydro Pump, I don't think we kill. Gouging Fire is like fairly bulky. But let's see. Because if we can kill, Goldengo doesn't kill us, and if we can land another Hydro Pump, we might actually take out the Goldengo. I don't know. It's a tough one. For me. the Hydro Pump does connect, and it barely, oh, the Gouging Fire barely lives. That's gonna take us out. Yeah, critical hit, so it balances out. You know, we got a critical hit with our Weezing, they get a critical hit with their Gouging Fire. The games always balance out. So yeah, fair play to my opponents. GG. GG, that was well played by them.